Welcome to week 11 of this ENGL 101 class. Today I'm going to go over commonly confused words, and I'm going to go over word order, and I'm going to go over spelling. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen. Reviewing the basics. Which word is correct? Commonly confused words. Writers need to use strong, meaningful words from the first sentence to the last, and in every sentence in between. You already know many words that you use every day as part of your writing and speaking vocabulary. You probably also know that certain words fit better in certain situations. Having a really good everyday vocabulary will help you while writing. But learning new words and avoiding common word errors will make a real impression on your readers. Experienced writers know that deliberate, careful word selection and usage can lead to more polished, meaningful work. Commonly confused words. Some words in English cause trouble for speakers and writers because these words share a similar pronunciation, meaning, or spelling with another word. These words are called commonly confused words. For example, read aloud the following sentences. I liked her new sweater. I knew she would wear that sweater today. These words may sound alike when spoken, but they can carry entirely different usages and meaning. New is an adjective that describes the sweater, and knew is the past tense of the verb to know. So recognizing commonly confused words. So here are some commonly confused words. I'm not going to go over them, but you should get to know all of these words that are commonly confused words. I'll go over it a little bit. I'll go over it really fast because I don't want to take up too much time. A, article is used before a word that begins with a consonant. N is used before a word that begins with a vowel. So a key, a mouse, a screen, an airplane, an ocean, an igloo. And conjunction connects two or more words together. Peanut butter and jelly, pen and pencil, jump and shout. Accept, verb, means to take or agree to something offered. They accepted our proposal for the conference. Accept, conjunction, means only or but. We could fly there, except the tickets cost too much. Affect means to create a change. Hurricane winds affect the amount of rainfall. Effect means an outcome or result. The heavy rains will have an effect on the crop growth. Are, verb, is a conjugated form of the verb to be. My cousins are all tall and blonde. Our indicates a possession, usually follows the pronoun we. We will bring our cameras to take pictures. By, preposition, means next to. My glasses are by the bed. Buy means to purchase. I will buy new glasses after the doctor's appointment. Its is a form of it that shows possession. The butterfly flap its wings. It is contraction. Joins the words it and is. It is the most beautiful butterfly I've ever seen. Know means to understand or possess knowledge. I know the male peacock sports the brilliant feathers. Know is used to make a negative. I have no time to visit the zoo this weekend. Loose describes something that is not tight or detached. Without a belt, her pants are loose on her waist. Lose means to forget or give up or fail to earn something. She will lose even more weight after finishing the marathon training. Of and have. Of, preposition. I studied maps of the city to know where to rent a new apartment. Have means to possess something. I have many friends to help me move. Have, linking verb, is used to connect verbs. I should have helped her with that heavy box. Quite, quiet, quit. Quite, adverb, means really or truly. My work will require a lot of concentration. quiet. Adjective means not loud. I need a quiet room to complete the assignments. Quit. I will quit when I am hungry for dinner. Right, right, and right. So right means proper or correct. When bowling, she practices the right form. Right also means the opposite of left. The ball curved to the right and hit the last pin. Right means to communicate on paper. After each team member bowls, I will write down their scores. Set, sit, set, set, sit. Set means to put an item down. She set the mug on the saucer. Set means a group of similar objects. All the mugs and saucers belonged in a set. Sit means to lower oneself down on a chair or another place. I'll sit on the sofa while she brews the tea. Suppose, supposed. Suppose, suppose, supposed. So suppose means to think or wonder. I suppose I will bake the bread because no one else has the recipe. Suppose means to suggest. Suppose we all split the cost of the dinner. Supposed is the past tense of the verb suppose, meaning required or allowed. She was supposed to create the menu. Then and then. Then is used to connect two or more items when comparing. Registered nurses require less schooling than doctors. Then, adverb, means next or at a specific time. Doctors first complete medical school and then obtain a residency. There. There is a form of that. Their pronoun is a form of they that shows possession. The dog walker feeds their dogs every day. They are joins the words they and are. They are the sweetest dogs in the world. There indicates a place. The dog's bowls are over there. There also indicates the presence of something. There are more treats if the dogs behave. To. Let's go to the circus. To is a word that completes an infinitive verb. To play, to ride, to watch. Two is the number after one. 2 clowns squirted the elephants with water. Use, used, used to. Use means to apply for some purpose. He uses a weed whacker to trim the hedges. Used is the past tense of the verb to use. He used the lawnmower last night. Used to indicates something done in the past, but not in the present. He used to hire a team to landscape, but now he landscapes alone. Whose, who is, or it can mean who has. So who is the new student? Who has met him? Whose is a form of who that shows possession. Whose schedule allows them to take the new student on a campus tour. Your is a form of you that shows possession. Your book bag is unzipped. You are the girl with the unzipped book bag. So here, if you want to practice, so my cousin turns 2 years old. The next door neighbor's dog is quite loud. Your mother called this morning. I would rather eat a slice of chocolate cake than eat a chocolate muffin. Before the meeting, he drank a cup of coffee and then brushed his teeth. Do you have any loose change to pay the parking meter? So you get the idea that you should be able to do this exercise. So here you have the original United States Declaration of Independence sits in a case of the rotunda for the Charters of Freedom as part of the National Archives of Washington, D.C. Since 1952, over 1 million visitors each year have passed through the rotunda to snap. So this one, it's to snap a photograph to capture their experience. So key takeaways. In order to write accurately, it is important for writers to be aware of commonly confused words. Although commonly confused words may look alike or sound alike, their meanings are very different. Consulting the dictionary is the one way to make sure you are using the correct word in your writing. You may also keep a list of commonly confused words nearby when you write or study the chart in this book. Choosing the proper words leaves a positive impression on your readers. Spelling. Identify common spelling rules. One essential aspect of good writing is accurate spelling. With computer spell checkers, spelling may seem simple, but these programs fail to catch every error. Spell checkers identify some errors, but writers still have to consider the flagged words and suggested replacements. Writers are still responsible for the errors that remain. For example, if the spell checker highlights a word that is misspelled and gives a list of alternative words, then you, the writer, have to choose the correct word. So common spelling rules. The best way to master new words is to understand the key spelling rules. Write I before E, except after C, when pronounced I, like neighbor or way. So achieve, niece, alien, receive, deceive. When words end in a consonant plus Y, drop the Y and add an I before adding another ending. Happier, cry. When words end in a vowel plus Y, keep the Y and add ending. Delayed. Memorize the following exceptions to this rule. Day, lay, say, pay. Daily, laid, said, paid. When adding an ending that ends with a vowel, such as able, ence, ing, or itty, drop the last E in a word. Writing, purity. When adding an ending that begins with a consonant, such as less, meant, lee, keep that last E in a word. Hopeless, advertisement. For many words ending in a consonant plus O, add S for the plural form. Photos, sopranos. Add ES to words that end in S, CH, SH, and X. Churches, faxes. Identify and correct the 9 misspelled words. He would likely, so LIKELY. Disabilities, TIES. So if it ends in Y, you have to change it to I, so TIES. Plagued, so this is missing an ED. Alienated, so here it should be ALI, okay, alienated. Socializing shouldn't have an E in there. And displayed, the I changes into a Y and becomes displayed, DISPLAYED. With every story, anthologists, okay, GIST. So I think you get GIST to his credit. Notably, okay, we don't have an E over there. Notably. So the Lone Ranger and Tonto, and there's no more O. Stories, STO, so when you have a Y, it becomes an I when it becomes plural. So IES. So you can use spell checkers. You can use, you can run your paper through ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to correct any spelling errors. You could use Grammarly for the same reason. You can use a dictionary. Many professional writers rely on the dictionary, either in print or online. You can go to www.dictionary.com. And if you find it difficult to use a regular dictionary, ask your instructor to help you find a poor speller's dictionary. Use your computer's spell checker. Keep a Keep a list of frequently misspelled words. You will often misspell the same words over and over again. All writers struggle with the spellings of certain words. They become aware of their spelling weaknesses and work to improve. Be aware of which words you commonly misspell, and you can add them to a list to learn to spell them correctly. Look over corrected papers for misspelled words. Add these words to your list and practice writing each word 4 to 5 times each. Writing teachers will especially notice which words you frequently misspell, and it will help you excel in your classes if they see your spelling improve. Test yourself with flashcards. Sometimes the old-fashioned methods are best, and for spelling, this tried technique has worked for many students. You can work with a peer or alone. Review the common spelling errors. Review the common spelling rules explained in this chapter. Take the necessary time to master the material. You may return to the rules in this chapter again and again and again. Homonyms. Homonyms are words that sound like one another but have different meanings. Commonly misused homonyms. Principle and principle. Principle means fundamental concept that is accepted as true. Principal means the original amount of debt on which interest is calculated. Principal, a person who is the main authority of a school. Where. Where means the place in which something happens. Where's the restaurant? Where. I will wear my hiking shoes. Where. When I return from shopping, I will show you my wares. Lead. Lead means a type of metal used in pipes and batteries. The lead pipes in my home are old and need to be replaced. Led is the past tense of the word lead. After the garden, she led the patrons through the museum. Which apartment is yours? She thinks she is a witch. She does not seem to have any powers. Peace and peace. For once there was peace between the arguing brothers. I would like a large piece of cake. Passed. He passed the slower cars on the road using the left lane. The argument happened in the past, so there is no use in dwelling on it. Lesson. My dentist gave me medicine to lessen the pain of my aching tooth. Today's lesson was about mortgage interest rates. Patience. The novice teacher's patience with the unruly class was astounding. The patients were tired of eating the hospital food. Sees. He sees a whale through the binoculars. The tidal fluctuation of the ocean and seas are influenced by the moon. The king plans to seize all the peasants' land. Through. She threw the football with perfect form. She walked through the door and out of his life. So commonly misspelled words. Across, address, answer, argument, athlete, beginning, behavior, calendar, career, conscious, crowded, definite, grammar, height, illegal, immediately, important, integration, intelligent, interest, interfere, jewelry, judgment, knowledge, possible, prefer, prejudice, privilege, probably, psychology, pursue, reference, rhythm, ridiculous, separate, similar. Describe, desperate, different, disappoint, disapprove, doesn't, eighth, embarrass, environment, exaggerate, familiar, finally, government, maintain, mathematics, meant, necessary, nervous, occasion, opinion, optimist, particular, perform, perhaps, personnel, possess, since, speech, strength, success, surprise, taught, temperature, thorough, thought, tired, until, wait, and written. So here are some key takeaways. Accurate, error-free spelling enhances your credibility with the reader. Mastering the rules of spelling may help you become a better speller. Knowing the commonly misused homonyms may prevent spelling errors. Studying the list of commonly misspelled words in this chapter, or studying a list of your own, is one way to improve your spelling skills. Effective writing involves making conscious choices with words. When it is time to write a first draft, start to consider which words to use to best convey ideas to the reader. Some writers are picky about word choice as they start drafting. They may practice some specific strategies, such as using a dictionary and thesaurus, using words and phrases with proper connotations, and avoiding slang, cliché, and overly general words. Precise selection of your words will help you be more clearly understood in both writing and speaking. Using a dictionary and thesaurus. Even professional writers need help with the meaning, spelling, pronunciation, and uses of certain words. In particular, they rely on dictionaries to help them write better. No one knows every word in the English language, and their multiple uses and meanings for all writers can benefit from dictionaries. Most dictionaries provide spelling, pronunciation, part of speech, definition, synonyms, and etymology. That is the history of the word. So this is what a dictionary looks like, a dictionary piece. So a thesaurus, like a dictionary, a thesaurus is another indispensable writing tool. A thesaurus gives you a list of synonyms, words that have the same or very close to the same meaning as another word. It also lists antonyms, words with the opposite meaning of the word. A thesaurus will help you when you are looking for the perfect word with just the right meaning to convey your ideas. It will also help you learn more words and use the ones you already know more correctly. Using proper connotations. A denotation is the dictionary definition of a word. A connotation, on the other hand, is the emotional or cultural meaning attached to a word. The connotation of a word can be positive, negative, or neutral. Keep in mind the connotative meaning when choosing a word. Slang describes informal words that are considered non-standard English. Slang often changes with passing fads and may be used by or only familiar to a specific group of people. Most people use slang when they speak and in personal correspondences such as emails, text messages, and instant messages. Slang is appropriate between friends and in an informal context, but should be avoided in formal academic writing. Avoiding clichés. Clichés are descriptive expressions that have lost their effectiveness because they are overused. Writing that uses clichés often suffer from a lack of originality and insight. Avoiding clichés in formal writing will help you write in more original ways. Avoid overly cliched words. So if you can avoid clichés, find another way of saying it. So if I say that when I'm at home, I let my hair down. So instead of saying I let my hair down, which is a cliche, so when I'm at home, I like to relax. So find another way to say the same sentence without the cliche. Using a dictionary and thesaurus will help improve your writing by improving your word choice. It also expands your vocabulary. Connotations of words may be positive, neutral, or negative. Slang and cliches and overly general words should be avoided in academic writing. Prefixes and suffixes. A prefix is a word added to the beginning of a word to create a new meaning. So here are some common prefixes that changes the meaning of a word. So if let's say I say I'm satisfied with my dinner, that means I really liked my dinner. But if I put this prefix dis and I say I'm dissatisfied with this dinner, then I don't like my dinner. So the prefix dis changes the meaning of the word satisfy to mean not satisfied. Miss I spell the word correctly. Then if I add the prefix miss, then it becomes I misspelled the word. That means I did it wrong. This is an acceptable grade. That means I got a B+. That's acceptable. An unacceptable grade would be like an F. Election. So John was elected to president. And then the next year, John was re-elected. That means he became a president again. So you add the prefix re, and it changes the word elect to re-elected. Inter means between. Interrelated. Pre, before. Prepay or prequel. Non means not. Nonsense. Super, above. Superlative or superscript or Superman for that matter. Sub, under. Submerge. Subpar or even subordinate. Anti, against. Antibacterial. Antagonist. And so when you use these prefixes, it changes the meaning of a word. A suffix is a word part added to the end of a word to create new meaning. It also changes the part of speech as well. So if I say dark, that's an adjective. But if I add dark plus ness, it becomes a noun. If I just write scholar, it's a noun. If I add ly, it becomes scholarly, it becomes an adverb. So when adding the suffix ness and ly to a word, the spelling of the word does not change. When the word ends in y, change the y to I before adding ness and ly. So readily becomes I, so that the y here, this y becomes an I, and this y here becomes an I. When the suffix begins with a vowel, drop the silent e. So here the suffix is ing, able. So these suffixes begin with a vowel, a, e, I, o, u. So we get rid of this e, and we get rid of this e, and it becomes caring and usable. When the word ends in ce or ge, keep the silent e if the suffix begins with a or o. So here you have able and us, and you keep the silent e and it becomes replaceable, courageous. When the suffix begins with a consonant, keep the silent e. So here the suffix begins with a consonant, f and l, and so we keep the silent e, careful, careless. Exceptions to rule 3. Truly, argument. When the word ends in a consonant plus y, change the y to I before any suffix not beginning with I. So sunny, hurrying. When the suffix begins with a vowel, double the consonant only if the word has only one syllable or is accented on the last syllable, and the word ends in a single vowel plus a single consonant. So tanning, regretting, canceled, preferred. So here the accent is not on the last syllable. Here the accent is on the last syllable, and the word ends in a single vowel plus a single consonant. And so here is how everything is spelled. So key takeaways. A prefix is a word added to the beginning of a sentence that changes the word's meaning. A suffix is a word that's added to the end of a word that changes the word's meaning. Learning the meanings of prefixes and suffixes will help expand your vocabulary, which will help improve your writing. Synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are words that have the same or almost the same meaning as another word. It is important to remember that not all pairs of words in the English language are easily interchangeable. The slight but important differences in meaning between synonyms can make a big difference in your writing. The English language is full of pairs of words that have subtle differences between them. All writers alike face the challenge of choosing the most appropriate synonym to best convey their ideas. When you pay attention to synonyms in your writing, it comes across to your readers. These sentences become, and then your sentences become much more clear. So here are some, and antonyms. Antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning of a given word. So if I say happy and glad, those are synonyms because those two words have similar meanings. If I say happy and sad, those words are antonyms because they have opposite meanings. And so antonyms are also listed. If you look it up in the dictionary, every word has its antonym. In other words, every word has its opposite meaning. The study of antonyms will not only help you choose the most appropriate word as you write, it will also sharpen your overall sense of language. So here are some common antonyms: absence, presence, accept, refuse, accurate, inaccurate, advantage, disadvantage, ancient, modern, abundant, scarce, artificial, natural, attractive, repulsive, borrow, lend, bravery, cowardice, destroy, demolish, bold, timid, meek, capable, incapable, combine, separate, conceal, reveal, common, rare, decrease, increase, definite, indefinite, despair, hope, discourage, encourage, ebb, flow, expand, contract, forget, remember, frequent, seldom, harmless, harmful, harmless, horizontal, vertical, imitation, genuine, include, exclude, increase, decrease, inhabited, uninhabited, inferior, superior, intentional, accidental, justice, injustice. And here you see some examples of how prefixes change the meaning of words. So here you have increase and decrease. So the prefix de usually means something less. Encourage, and then you have dis. Dis means something that's not. So here you have the not prefix, okay? So if you can remember these prefixes like respect, disrespect. So dis means something that's not, something negative, okay? It's even become slang. To diss someone means to be disrespectful to someone. So when you add a prefix, it does change the meaning of the word. Here you have a suffix that changes the meaning of the word. Harmful versus harmless. So if you can notice the common prefixes and suffixes and know the common prefixes and suffixes, then it helps you with knowing the parts of the word and helps you know what the meanings are. Okay? Knowledge, ignorance, landlord, tenant. Here's another example of likely and unlikely. So un means, is a prefix meaning not. So this will help you understand words. Miser, spendthrift, obedient, disobedient. So that's another prefix. Optimist, pessimist, permanent, temporary, plentiful, scarce, private, public, prudent, imprudent. So I am means not. So there is another example of prudent meaning careful and imprudent meaning not careful. So you add a prefix to that and it changes the meaning of the word. Qualified, unqualified. So just adding that prefix can then be an antonym. You make it into its antonym. So you change the meaning of the word. Satisfactory, unsatisfactory. That's another example of a prefix. Tame, wild, vacant, occupied. Synonyms are words that have the same and almost the same meaning as another word. Antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning of another word. Choosing the right synonym refines your writing. Learning common antonyms sharpens your sense of language and expands your vocabulary. Using context clues. Context clues are bits of information within a text that will assist you in deciphering the meaning of unknown words. Since most of your knowledge of vocabulary comes from reading, it is important that you recognize context clues. By becoming more aware of particular words and phrases surrounding a difficult word, you can make guesses about its meaning. The different types of context clues are brief definition or restatement, synonyms and antonyms. And so here, different kinds of, sometimes a text directly states the definition or a restatement of the unknown word. So if you visit Alaska, you will likely see many glaciers or slow-moving masses of ice. So here you have, if you don't know what a glacier is, they restate it as slow-moving masses of ice. So that's a context clue. A context clue gives you a clues on what a difficult word means. Marina was indignant, fuming mad, when she discovered her brother had left the party without her. And so fuming means angry. Sometimes a text gives a synonym of the unknown word to signal the meaning of the word. When you interpret an image, you actively question and examine what image that image connotes and suggests. So, I abhor shopping, but I adore grocery shopping. So here, abhor and adore are contrasted. And so from this context, okay, it means that if you know what adore is and you know that it's being contrasted, okay, then you know that abhor means I hate shopping. So that is a context word of contrast. Okay, so here you have other context words. I saw the entomologist. What's an entomologist? A scientist who studies insects. So then you know that this is a restatement of entomologist, because when you have a restatement context clue, usually you see two different commas. That tells you that is a restatement of a difficult word. It's also known as an appositive. So many different ways of telling. So context clues are words or phrases within a text that help clarify vocabulary that is unknown to you. There are several types of context clues, including brief restatements, which usually have two commas in between it, synonyms and antonyms like abhor and adore, for example. And that's it for this particular. So I hope that you become more familiar with spelling rules, commonly misused words, and context clues, and antonyms and synonyms, prefixes and suffixes, to help expand your vocabulary and improve your word diction for your writing. And so if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. And I always recommend that my students get a Roget's Thesaurus. I say that to all my schools. When a student says, but I want to expand my vocabulary, I don't know how to do that, then you buy a Roget's Thesaurus. I remember when I was in second grade, my second grade teacher told all of us, get a Roget's Thesaurus. And I remember our reaction was, a what? What's a Roget's Thesaurus? We had no clue at that time. And then later, I bought a Roget's, or my parents bought me my first Roget's Thesaurus, and I used it all through 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade writing, and got straight A's, because I was the only one in class who actually went out and got my Roget's Thesaurus. And I remember when my 5th grade or 4th grade teacher said, everyone should get a Roget's Thesaurus. And I had mine on my desk because I brought it to school every day. My mother insisted on it to learn good English. And then I remember the whole class, like, they still didn't know even though it was my second grade teacher who told us to get the Roget's Thesaurus. And everyone's like, what's a Roget's Thesaurus? And then I think it was the 4th grade teacher walked up to my desk and said, you see, Yvonne has hers. She has a Roget's Thesaurus. That's why she gets straight A's. I want all of you, the rest of you, to get a Roget's Thesaurus. And then the next day, everybody had a Roget's Thesaurus on their desk. So, I remember that because everybody, the other students looked so startled, and then they stared at my desk, and I felt like, I had 5 heads or something, when actually they were looking at the Roget's thesaurus. That was all my mother's fault, because of my mother's idea that I always carry a dictionary and a Roget's thesaurus, because she wanted me to learn good English, and she didn't want me to have bad English like my father, you see. So she wanted me to, to be fluent, and not like talk like your father and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so if you have any questions, we only have 1 more week of class to go. So I want to congratulate everyone for making it this far. So you only have 1 more lecture from me, and then that's it. No more English 101. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time.